We're visiting today with men's head coach Bo Clark. Bo, you recently completed your 26th season. In your wildest dreams when you came to Flagler, did you ever imagine that you would go through 26 years?
Yeah, Schultz, that's a long time at any school, whether you're at the University of Wisconsin or at Florida State or at Valdosta State. 26 years at one place is really kind of unique in college coaching. A lot of college coaches will be at 5, 6 schools and maybe stay at one school maybe 7 or 8 years. But Flagler's really been great to me. I've been fortunate to be here that long. I've also had 3 sons, 2 of them that have graduated from Flagler, 1 that still plays for me. So I've been really fortunate and blessed to have a president like President Hebert, and also the guy that hired me, President Proctor, who's our chancellor now. And it's just been a great fit for me. And who doesn't like St. Augustine?
Let's talk about this year's Flagler Saints team. 9 wins. Compare this year's club to the one you had previously.
Well, we had a lot of new players this year. We lost some great guards last year in DJ Ferguson and John Picavage, and then a 4-year guy, Kenny Moore, who had a great career here at Flagler. Eddie Fowler had a great 2 years here. So we really lost some players, and I knew this year was going to be kind of a rebuilding year for us. In the Peach Belt, you really, instead of rebuild, you have to almost kind of reload, because that's what the other teams are going to do. They're going to get either Division I transfers or they're going to get junior college players. But I still like having those guys for 4 years, a guy like Justin Stokes or a guy like Kenny Moore that you're going to have for 4 years, and you really kind of develop a relationship with them. But we do need to fill some holes and some spots to really improve our team for next year's Peach Belt.
Talk about your son, Matt. Led the team in scoring, averaging 15 points a game. Did you anticipate before the season that he was going to make the contribution that he did?
When we first recruited Matt, I was kind of thinking he was going to be, 7th, 8th man and kind of come off the bench and kind of be a scorer off the bench. And that's kind of the way we kind of used him in some of the preseason exhibition games, when we played NC State, Stetson, and UNF. But, he did so well in two out of those 3 games, and we needed his scoring that we ended up just kind of, putting him in there. And sometimes I really don't like to start freshmen, but, there was times where, we needed a 3-point shooter on the floor, because then they couldn't double down on Chad or Justin. So, he had a good year, but he also knows that we have to get better, and I think we will definitely get better the next 2 or 3 years.
Did you have a lot of challenges personally coaching your son?
This is the 3rd son that I've coached, so I've kind of probably been through every single scenario about, I think Matt is smart enough sometimes when the players are in here, he'll stay for 2 minutes and then he'll leave, because, he doesn't want to hear guys bash his dad, and not that the guys bash me in that, but I know it's a lot easier coaching your son when your team is really successful. And I was really fortunate at UCF that we only lost 20 games in 4 years. And I think Matt, had a great year. He definitely has to work on his defense, and but I thought he handled it well. A lot of teams really face guarded him and did a good job with that. But hopefully, he'll have that hunger and desire to keep improving as a player.
Prior to one of the home games this year, you honored John Randolph, a former player. You've told me that he's the best player that you've ever coached. Talk a little about what his contribution was to Flagler.
The greatest compliment I can give John Randolph is he's just an outstanding person. The second biggest compliment is he was just an unbelievable player, and he was a winner. He could play any position, 1, 2, or 3. If you said, John, I need you at the 3, it was no problem. John, I need you to play the point tonight. That was no problem. And we had ultra success during that period. And I think a lot of it, is attributed to his play and his leadership. And he's by far, the best player that I've coached.
Now, after his career, you've gone through the transition from NAIA to a Division II team.
we kind of went from, top of the league, in terms of upper tier with, when we were with Embry-Riddle and Warner and St. Thomas, which, by the way, is a tremendous league. In fact, a lot of those NAIA schools beat some Division IIs in the Sunshine State this year. I think the biggest difference is the talent level is better in the Peach Belt. The Peach Belt is a first-class league. They have first-class facilities, they have first-class athletes. The coaching is tremendous, and that's probably been the biggest transition, is that the depth that these teams have. And I think that's one of the things that I'm going to really look at with my recruiting, is that not only do we have to have a good starting five, but we have to have a good 6, 7, 8, 9 man that can really come in and give us some good minutes off the bench, where you get some scoring and some production. This is a first-class league. We play in great facilities. It's great players. We actually have a guy from Augusta State who's actually in the NBA, Garrett Seiler. This guy played against South Carolina Aiken. This guy played against Francis Marion, and now he's playing against the LA Lakers and Kobe Bryant. But it's a tough league. I call it the Division II ACC.
The Peach Belt Conference this year placed 3 teams in the Division II tournament, and that's been the case throughout the years that you've been in. There's always 3 or 4 clubs every year that are going on to postseason play.
Yeah, and Schultz, to be honest with you, some years it's even been 5, and but this year we had a lot of parity. I think Aiken won the league with, I think they were like 14-4, 13-5. But I don't think anybody's ever going to go undefeated in the Peach Belt. It's just it's too good of a league. And any recruits that are watching this, if you want a top level league, very, very similar to NCAA Division I league, the Peach Belt, could be a good choice for you.
Men's coach Bo Clark, my guest, just completed his 26th year at Flagler as the men's basketball coach. Thanks for watching.